Hello. The roots of almost half, if not more, of your problems is that you don't learn the lesson. You really don't. You live a life where you go through things and you learn very harsh and important lessons. And after a short while, you choose to forget about them. And that is your problem. Imagine learning an information, studying for a test, all right? And then you go to that test and you forget an information and you have a question on that test that requires you to remember that information. It is absolutely the same when you choose to forget about the lessons that you were supposed to never forget about. This is not an encouragement to hold grudges at all, at all. However, it is an encouragement to remember, to remember. You know how some people say that they forgive but never forget? You need to start becoming one of these people. One of these people. You really need to start becoming one of these people because only that way you will start respecting yourself and protecting yourself. Only that way, probably. If you keep forgetting the lessons that you've learned about life, about people, about yourself, just I hope that you're ready for them to repeat themselves. Do you ever catch yourself saying things like, "Oh, why does this keep happening to me? Oh, why do I keep meeting the same people?" Let me tell you this in the most sweetest way possible, but honey, there is something about you. And not up until I found myself in such places and I found myself asking the same question that I realized it. When I found myself asking the same questions over and over again, I was like, that is my problem. I forget about the lessons. And that's a huge mistake. And let me tell you this, I'm not trying to make you feel bad at all. I think the last thing that you need is to feel bad, but the truth is that you don't really forget about them because you are sweet and nice. The harsh truth is that you forget about them because you treat your life and yourself just like a bystander in some novel or just like a rock in the street. You don't really see the value in yourself or in your life or in the things that happen to you or in your lessons. So you forget about them and live like a very random life. But at some point you can't. You can't really because you you're gonna ruin your life. If you want to save what's left from you, you gotta end this cycle by now. Because let me make things clear. If you were to see the value of yourself and somebody, for example, did you wrong, you will not dare deal with them again in that same way. Maybe you will deal with them, but not in that same way. Because you do love yourself and respect yourself a lot more, like to a totally different level that you wouldn't risk it. And that's not grudge. If anyone tells you that it's grudge, be careful of that person because they are either stupid, they don't realize it yet, or they want to make advantage out of you. And they don't like it that you becoming more aware of that. They don't really like it when it happens. So they try to make you feel like you're an awful person so you wouldn't continue like that. So you don't continue learning. So that's why you forget about the lessons that happens to you because you don't see the value of them. You don't think that you are very important, that you have got to learn the lessons, really. I don't know how to explain this, but it's something very deep. Like, there is no way you forget the lessons and they keep repeating themselves because you live a random life. Getting older, I started realizing that so much about our lives is not random. It's actually a lot more connected than we could ever think. And at first this might scares you, but if you actually look at it deeper and think of it, it's better because it means that you can learn the patterns of humans, of life, and you can adapt yourself with it and adopt some of it as well for your own good. And notice it on others and notice it in your decisions. Notice it in yourself as well. So that's your problem. You need to stop them. How to stop them? Easy. Not really, but kind of. You need to start telling yourself, I'm not living a random life. I'm not just another human on earth. Because let me tell you one thing, honey. If you were just a rock, then you would get the privileges of a rock. You wouldn't feel the pain when waves hit you. It feels like nothing, it doesn't even move you. But you do, don't you? When the waves come, you're hurt, you're frustrated, you're sad because you're getting hit. So you're a human. And your pain and the things that happen to you are just as important as the pain and the things that happened to that person that you put on a pedestal, to to like to the celebrity that you think they're their most important thing, to the person that you don't dare compare yourself to, is just as important. So that's what you need to stop doing. You need to sit down and be like, yeah, things that happen to me are real. My pain is real. My pain deserves that I would sit down and reflect and journal about it so that I process it and I never forget about it. And when I say you never forget about it, I'm not telling you to hold on into the pain because that is just useless. It makes your life bitter, and it's something that I wouldn't really encourage. But what you need to hold on into is the lesson that you learned. You need to sit down and be like, what happened? How did I get there? Why did I do this one, two, three times? You have a therapist, you have access to therapy, even more amazing. They could help you as well. But just as long as you're alive, do your best to make your life better because you're alive anyways. You're not dead. So you might as well just try to make it better until maybe, oh, I don't want to say until you, but you know what I'm talking about. Your life is just as valuable as the most important person's life to you. Like, haven't you gotten bored and tired and burned out from the cycle that keeps repeating itself? Isn't a monthly cycle enough for you? What more cycles do you want to go through? Like, cut it off, really. Cut it off and be like, bye, enough. My life is important. The things that happen to me are big deals. They deserve that I sit down and think what's wrong, right? Because you still feel the pain, anyways. So you might as well just, you're alive. You really are alive. Thank to the Lord. So you might as well just be like, okay, I'm alive. How can I make it better until I'm not? Because you deserve it. You do. I know that if you listen to this, you're probably in a place where it feels like a lie to say this, but it's not a lie. You just need to build step by step resistance to the old patterns. We need deep reprogramming to realize the importance of your life. That is all for today's video. If it reaches anyone, and if anyone just listened to this and feels a desire to finally reach out to themselves and be like, hey, myself, hey, me, I want to start caring about you, I'm going to be extremely happy. That's it for today. Thank you for your listening.